Hello, welcome to 8.9 News. I'm Finlo Costain. Today's headlines: failure to prioritise adaptation risks grave societal insecurity. A Scottish glen becomes a hub for climate and nature technology innovation. And IPES Food says that EPP politicians must end cynical games over EU nature restoration law. An innovation and technology proving ground for climate solutions for the world's farmers has been launched at a remote Scottish hill farm. The Climate Innovation Hub has been set up by the James Hutton Institute to help reduce the risks associated with new climate-friendly technologies and ideas. Antonia Boyce is the Climate Innovation Hub manager, and I asked her to explain more.
The Climate Innovation Hub is a new initiative from the James Hutton Institute. We're a research organisation based in Scotland, and we specialise in the sustainable management of our land, crop and natural resources. And how we support communities alongside that is obviously really important as well. So the Climate Innovation Hub is part of a wider initiative called the Glensau Climate Positive Farming Initiative, a bit of a mouthful. And there we're looking at researching and demonstrating new approaches to land management. The Climate Innovation Hub itself has been set up to help us work more closely with external partners and enable them to come in and benefit from the resources that we have on site there. So in addition to things like lab space and meeting rooms, there's 1,000 hectares of farm there and access to the wider Hutton expertise in this area.
Now, why is the hub important?
For me, it's really important that we accelerate the development of new tools, techniques and processes that can help us address the challenges associated with climate change. At Hutton, we support a lot of action-based research, and the Climate Innovation Hub provides one way of actually increasing that kind of collaboration and research in practice to allow us to drive innovation faster.
Now, the hub's also going to be helping to find ways to monitor and measure natural capital. Why is that particularly important?
Well, as we look at decisions on how we manage our land in the future, it's really important that we understand the impact that has, and in doing so we're able to use increasingly new technologies to do so. So we're setting up or extending our existing wireless communications network there so that we can help test and validate sensors, and data models will help us decide what we ought to be doing and to understand the impacts of certain decisions in the shorter as well as the longer term. But really it's about supporting the right decisions. So for example, we're looking at developing a digital twin of the site, so people will actually be able to say, if we put trees here, combine that with climate projections, is that really where they ought to be in 30 years time? Or, you know, is this a good place where we should be doing crops, and will that still be the case in the future? So it's to enable quite complex decision making and understanding that perhaps the trade-offs or compromises that are required.
Now, there's increasing recognition, particularly in terms of land use, that climate and biodiversity both need to be tackled together. Will the research at the Climate Innovation Hub be taking that more holistic approach?
Yes, that's always been the approach actually at Hutton. And I think one of our strengths is actually the breadth of expertise that we have, as well as the depth. So we're very keen to look at sustainable food production, both in the context of climate change and the nature crisis. Because these things really need to be balanced.
Will the hub be primarily focused on mitigation, or will climate adaptation also be high up on the agenda?
Yes, adaptation is certainly key in the short term, and then we also probably practically need to look at mitigation measures. We're not prescriptive about that, and we're really supporting people that are coming to us with novel ideas. But overall, we're looking at a balance of activities.
And presumably there are activities that will combine both mitigation and adaptation. For example, as soil carbon is accrued, if that's alongside an increase in soil organic matter, then you'd expect there to be better water management as a result. Is there that sort of coupled approach taking place?
Yes, absolutely. And one of our early collaborators, one of our first tenants at Glensau Innovation Hub, is a company called Undo, who are using ground basalt rock to sequester carbon. And we're assisting them with some field validation trials.
That was Antonia Boyce from the James Hutton Institute's Climate Innovation Hub. More about this and our other headline news on our website, 8.9.com. That's all for now. We're back next week. Thanks for watching.